An unprecedented number of people are currently waking up about the nature of our ruling so-called elite. We're seeing that our economy is not fit to serve the American people. Instead, it's dominated by international finance, and it serves to buff the financial metrics of international corporations which do business here. These same corporations have a fiduciary obligation to their shareholders to maximize profits. Those shareholders are the international financial elite. They have no legal obligation to serve the American people or to provide jobs for the American people. We see that our political representatives, who are intended to represent our interests and benefit us, are bought and paid for by lobbyists from these international corporations and from foreign nation states, especially Israel. Many congresspeople are dual citizens of Israel. We see that our military has been used to fight wars on behalf of Israel. Our soldiers have died to forward Israel's strategic objectives, and it has not tangibly benefited the United States. Instead, we earn the ire of the world, which by and large is against Israel's actions, but we stand up and defend them because of these financial relationships between our representatives, our political class, and the Israel lobby. We also see that our elites, who aren't necessarily bought and paid for, are nevertheless controlled by this interest group through blackmail. We are not being told the truth about this international blackmail ring, which probably involves pedophilia, which certainly, it looks like, involves Mossad. Even people like Donald Trump refuse to disclose the truth about what is going on among our elite. They are not an elite. They are traitors. And people are seeing that. After Charlie Kirk's assassination, many people wanted civil war. They wanted blood. They wanted vengeance for the American people. And that's what, at the moment, Charlie Kirk represented. Right? Before he was assassinated, he was talking about white identity. You know, the fact that this was a nation state built by white Europeans for white Europeans, that we shouldn't be legally discriminated against in our own homeland. He spoke up for us. He was moderate in other respects and was also very committed to this same Israel lobby. Maybe he criticized them too much for their liking. We don't know exactly what happened there, but people were certainly waking up because of this to the plight of ordinary Americans. The killing of Irina Zarutska also woke people up. There is hatred against white Americans. There's hatred against white people around the world. We have to provide some kind of path for the millions of people who are currently waking up about these issues. We have to provide a path for them to make themselves useful in a concrete agenda to change the status quo. A general revolution is off the table. Many people wanted blood, but listen, uncoordinated terrorists acting independently cannot challenge the United States military. You're not going to get millions of lone wolf terrorists acting in a disorganized way, and we have millions of soldiers and police officers who are coordinated. And if such an attack were launched by radicals, the information about what was going on the ground to coordinate a war effort would be coming down from the establishment. We don't have radio networks. We don't have the internet at our disposal in a controlled way. Instead, the major sources of information are controlled by the establishment. And so we, as a disorganized group, cannot hope to challenge an entity like that. In terms of weaponry, in terms of every conceivable level of analysis, we are at a huge disadvantage if we decide that we're going to attack the U.S. government. It cannot happen. There are other pathways, though. So it's not simply a matter of allowing all of this to happen and giving up, or an armed revolution tomorrow. Instead, we have to do what is possible today. the international financial and Jewish interest group that has deprived the Native American nation, the white American nation, of its sovereignty, of its self-respect, of its dignity, they don't want us even to have our own neighborhoods. That's where we actually are. And a large number of Americans are going along with this. They think it's okay if projects like Return to the Land are shut down. Jewish journalists have called us out. Jewish journalists have lodged complaints with government departments trying to get us shut down. Meanwhile, they have an ethno-state that's committing a genocide. Meanwhile, they're controlling our elites with blackmail, pedophile blackmail rings, right? They are doing actual evil things, and we are being labeled as evil simply for wanting to live among our own people and benefit our own people. That's where we are. It's not a matter of we have to control the government tomorrow. It's not possible. We don't even have a candidate that we could run in the next election. No one with support. Our groups are too disorganized. Everyone wants to do their own thing. That mentality must go. The people who have been in this for decades, who understand these issues thoroughly, we have to coordinate and we have to provide a funnel for these millions of people currently waking up to go into and to be directed towards productive ends. Now, what can that look like? That can look like activism like Patriot Front. They're the best organized group out there. Very few members have ever been doxxed or have faced personal financial consequences. They are the group right now that can mobilize men. Like, if you wanted to attack the government, then at least you should be a part of a group that could manage some kind of effort to mobilize people where they needed to go. That's not Patriot Front's intent. And, you know, they have no intention of ever doing that in the future. But if you wanted to do that, you better be part of an organization that's capable of it. You know, Return to the Land. We have no ambition of attacking the government, but if you wanted to have true independence, you need an independent base of power. So we could provide logistical support for any network in the future that wanted to operate. A network of communities, largely off-grid communities, would provide safe harbor for whatever kind of political project we want to create going forward. Groups like Patriot Front, groups like Return to the Land, people are afraid to get involved. Now, I understand with Patriot Front, it's explicitly political. They want to take the country back. If it's found out that you're a member, you might face personal consequences, personal financial consequences, and you might not be ready for that. You don't want to stand up behind white nationalism. And Patriot Front is a white nationalist group. Return to the Land, we are white identitarians, but we're not looking for political change through Return to the Land. Instead, we're an association for building white neighborhoods. That's it. So if it's known that you're a member of Return to the Land, what are you standing up for? You're saying, I would prefer to live with white people. Now, if you're not willing to take that risk and make that statement that, yes, I'm willing, I want to live with white people, then you're not ready for this. You're not really a part of this struggle. You're letting your fear win out. People are afraid of doxing because they'll lose career opportunities. Now, we are vulnerable to that because we've not sufficiently organized. With these communities, we create job opportunities. We are developing from scratch the land that is our inheritance. And now we're reaching a phase where there are major investors who want to create employment opportunities within Return to the Land because they know it's the right thing to do. So young men, right now, join Return to the Land and we will provide you with jobs. We will find job opportunities for you, not as Return to the Land itself, but our network, the people that constitute Return to the Land. We have opportunities. You must be willing to stand up for your beliefs at some point. You can't hide forever. You can't. You're not going to deserve victory if that's the case. God is just, and he rewards those who take action and who stand up for what's right. He won't reward those who, for decades, keep their cards close to their chest because maybe I'll be able to get in this position and then influence something behind the scenes. No. We have to take bold action immediately while we're in a relatively favorable political climate. This might be the only 3 years we get where conceivably some administration could set that precedent that it's okay to have communities like this. We have to build aggressively. We have to become immune from doxing concerns. If we control our own businesses, then we can hire our own. And a lot of that will look like blue-collar activities. Those are necessary, though, to support the basic infrastructure of the country, which is falling apart. We have to build our own communities with better infrastructure that is owned by us, that subsidizes our own development. When we build our own houses, our workers get that wealth. It doesn't go to the Mexicans who would otherwise be building your house. Is your loyalty with the American people, or is it with money? Is it with what's going to maximize my bottom line personally? That calculation, I guess, would be rational if we lived in a safe country that was going to last hundreds of years. Then sure, think about you and your family first. But right now, the right of white Americans to even exist as an independent people is being taken away. So if you are all about maximizing your bottom line and maximizing your personal profit and playing it as safe as possible, you are shooting yourself in the foot, because then you're leaving that actual struggle to be performed by the handful of people that are high integrity enough to live up to their values. You're leaving them out to dry. You're leaving them to face all the consequences. You, meanwhile, are being a coward trying to maximize the money you can make. That is wrong, and you know it. You know that's wrong. Right now, you can join Return to the Land and find opportunities. Instead of investing in the mainstream economy, invest in us. There is no excuse. We've not had any members' information leaked to the public. That's not happened with Return to the Land. Even if it did, though, you should be willing to stand up and say, yes, I want to live in a white neighborhood. And if you get fired for that, well, now you're a martyr for the cause, and we'll provide you with opportunities. Anyway, we will find jobs for you if that happens to you. And it will be one more sign that this system is explicitly anti-white. Because you're not some nationalist, radical. Instead, you're just someone who values your own identity. And if that's enough to get you fired, then people need to know that's where the system stands. That's where the state of affairs actually is. Are you willing to tell the people in your life that you would want to live in a Return to the Land community? You would want to live in a white neighborhood? You better be, if we're going to win. You have to be, if we are going to win. And we all are in this together, whether we want that to be the case or not. All the different groups out there. Start your own projects, do your own thing, great. But where we can, we need to consolidate resources. Return to the Land looks like it's going to be the organization that actually faces the battle, that sets the legal precedent, that says whether white communities are okay or not in the United States of America. So you can join us. You can also be a member of other organizations and join us. It's very simple. ReturnToTheLand.org, apply, join, take your interview. It's a $25 membership fee, lifelong. It's a national organization. We have one community here now in the Ozarks in Arkansas, and it's very affordable. Like, there are places right now you could come and develop and live cheaply and have opportunities and work your way up also in our organization, which we're going to have more and more opportunities in the future. So get in early, build your way up. Instead of trusting your fate to the mainstream economy, trust your fate with us. The more of us get in it, the better our odds of success. You have to see that. So join now. I know the numbers of membership in groups like Patriot Front and obviously Return to the Land. And it's a tiny fraction of the people who will even watch this video. If you're liking this, if you're sharing this, if you think this is important, then do what you need to do and join us. Maybe you can't move tomorrow. That's fine. But you can join the PMA, be a part of the conversation. Let us know what you can do. Maybe you can't do everything that you'd like right now, but there are roles for you to play in the bigger picture. Even if you're a part of another group, even if you're the leader of another group, you can still operate within Return to the Land. Our whole mission is to provide white spaces. Now, that's residential communities, that will be community centers and campgrounds and recreational sites and a lot more. And by being part of that network, you'll have access to all these sites, but we have to get involved now. It's not time to play the long game and wait decades, because every year this country gets less white, and it does get more leftist. Gen Z, the conservatives, are radical, right? The right wing is radical, but more of them are leftists than before. And it's not just Jews, it's not just blacks, not just any particular group that is against white well-being. It's also just the left in general. It does make a difference whether Democrats or Republicans are in charge, because Trump's DOJ is very unlikely to attack us. It would split his base. Why would he do that politically? A Democrat absolutely stands to gain by attacking us. So that's why it matters. You know, maybe we launch a third party with our own platform. Community independence for all communities in America, localism, and also anti-foreign influence in our government. That's a huge platform that could go really far. You know, you could offer a voucher program that benefits homeschool co-ops, right? Bring money back into the local communities, stop paying into this federal bureaucracy. People want that. You know, why don't we have a single think tank, a single political action conference, a single anything to speak of in an organized fashion? It's all individuals running their own website or their own podcast, whatever it is. We must coordinate, and we need infrastructure. We need physical spaces where we can do that. How do we do that? Either as individuals acting alone, which makes us vulnerable to lawfare, or as one coordinated group that does extensive legal research on how to organize. That's what Return to the Land is doing right now, and that's what you can be a part of. So I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. I don't care what you think of me as an individual. I can be replaced as the president. It doesn't matter to me. It's the people that constitute Return to the Land. And if you think all of them are no good, then who exactly is the tribe that you have loyalty to? Is it white Americans or not? Because that's who we are. We're the white Americans who are standing up for our independence. Join us, returntotheland.org, or we're not going to like what we see in the coming decades. We don't have long. Stop procrastinating about this. Get on the website. I've talked to people who said, I've been following you for a couple years, and I ask them, okay, you like what we're doing? Did you apply? And like, well, I've been meaning to. It's been 2 years. You've been aware of this, and you've not applied on our website? I understand the website doesn't always work perfectly, and sometimes, you know, things get lost in the cracks, and we have to, you know, it is a process. It's always a process. Go through it with us. Improve our infrastructure with us. We are in this together. If you have a project you want me to participate in, let me know. Increase the velocity of information. Increase the velocity of cooperation in our circles, or we're doomed. We're not going to make it on our own. And again, there are millions of people right now coming in who want big organizations to join to make change, concrete change. The end goal that we want is communities for our kids, white communities where they can celebrate their heritage. We can build that now. You don't have to wait until the country has been won. We'll have to rebuild our communities, our society from the ground up anyway. We have the ideal regime in power. Okay, we still have to look after our kids and where we're living. And right now, the country's mixed. Ideologically, in terms of race, it's a mess. A lot of it is basically the third world at this point. We need to rebuild our infrastructure. We have to rebuild our sense of community. We have to rebuild our values. And many members of the PMA, myself included, have spotty pasts, and we're trying to do better. So we're going to have to rebuild our culture, our society, our people. We're going to have to rebuild our nation. I wish we had a nation state to benefit white Americans. We don't. That's what we were. We're not. Now we're an empire. There are many national identities operating in our borders. Now we have to focus on the right of our nation to act independently, culturally, economically. And we get the wedge in where it's legal or where it's a gray area, and then we push from there. So we start with white neighborhoods, and then we push to white corporations. We have the right to operate economically as a unit. Get rid of these racial quotas across the board. Millions of Americans support that, and we can accomplish it if we organize, not if you just like the video and forget about it. Get on returntotheland.org, join our group, join Patriot Front, join the people who are organized, who would be capable of launching political parties, who would be capable of getting our own lobbyists in positions of influence. We have to act now. We don't have long. So stop procrastinating. Stop scrolling. Stop doom scrolling on X. Join the people who are making real progress. Thank you for listening.